What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Third Round Picks podcast. I'm Carl,
I'm Seth.
And I'm Caleb.
and today we have a lot to talk about. It's been an interesting last couple days at the very least in the league, so let's get right into it.
Let's go. All right, thank you, Carl. Appreciate you. How
Glad
you
to
guys
do
doing? We're doing all right.
Good.
It's been an interesting week to say the least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
understandable. So today we were going to talk about teams' first couple weeks' performances and if we think they will last, correct? And
Yep.
how we see them ending up at the end of the season. So,
I think last week, we talked a little bit about the Cavaliers and we said, how far are they going to go based on that early season record? And so I think we dig into a few more teams, make a little, some conclusions based on what we've seen so far. How far what seed do you think they're going to end up at now that we have a little more data on them? Mind if I throw out a team for you guys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hit me with it.
All right. So we already talked about the Cavaliers. I'm looking at the bottom of the East now. I'm
Okay.
looking at the 76ers. Do we think I'm not saying they're gonna end up 15th. Do we think they're gonna figure it out at all? Or are they gonna miss the playoffs? Are they gonna make the play in? Like what do we see happening with this situation they've got over there?
Caleb, I'll let you start. I'll let you take the hot seat on this one.
As probably the biggest Embiid fan that's also a Denver Nugget fan. I mean, I can't stand him, but just as a fan base, the hatred runneth deep. I think that I saw something that said that he was late to meetings and Maxey called him out. When you have a guy that's kind of a dirty player in a sense and has this mentality of kind of him, and is also kind of being whatever. I don't think that your ceiling is too high. I feel like your team is gonna kind of give up on you quite a bit, and 2-11 is not a fluke. That's if they were 2-6, maybe I'd be like but that's 11 games you guys lost, and if I look at
They're the same record as the Wizards.
they have the same record as the Wizards. So yeah, that's I think they could be a fringe 11 seed, but I don't know. I don't see it, man. Especially if he's not playing back to backs. How are you gonna make up all this if you're just gonna lose momentum? I don't know.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think the Paul George experiment with anyone should have ended probably a few years ago. I love Paul George, don't get me wrong, but I think his time has passed. I don't think he should be the star player for a team anymore. I think he should kind of take up that Westbrook role where he's like spark plug off the bench and just kind of run things on the bench. Because 2-11 when you were supposedly supposed to be one of the better ones coming into the season, I don't think it's a good look at all.
No. Seth, do you
Especially
hear that
'cause-
on his mic, or is that just me?
Yeah, there's a little static.
Yeah,
Is there?
yeah. Something's going on with your stiff.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, way better.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know if you want to re-say some of that.
Yeah,
'cause
I'll
just
re-say.
skip this. Let me make.
Those are some good points.
So I
Thank
know
you.
to edit this, and then all right, go.
Yeah.
I think the 76ers, they're at the bottom. The Paul George experiment with any team probably should have ended a few years ago.
I agree.
I think his last few good years, honestly, were probably on the Thunder, and a lot of people didn't like him on the Thunder as it is. But 2-11 when you guys were coming into the season, supposed to be at the very least a top 5 seed, and you were literally the bottom of the conference. It's not a good look. Like, you guys have the same record as the Wizards, and historically, Wizards are kind of buns. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for the Sixers with at least 2 good players should be this bad. Like, Maxey is balling out, and Embiid, barely plays, whether it's injury or, whatever he's got going on. And Paul George isn't the superstar like he was. Like, it's time to probably go into rebuild mode for them. And, I hate to say it, but maybe Joel Embiid shouldn't be the face of the franchise wherever he goes. Maybe he should be like second or third option.
Yeah. That's a good take.
Yeah. I think the big thing for me is I know Embiid came back. He's come back for a few games. I think they've lost every game he's been back. 3 games, right? He hasn't played that well. And I do wonder, there is a certain point, I've seen it a couple times. I remember it with Blake Griffin where like a guy's a star and then they have one too many injuries and suddenly that's there's like a tipping point and it's like, oh, you're a little bit, you've slowed down. You're not what you were anymore. And it happens quick. Like, and he didn't look good in the Olympics. He hasn't looked good this so far this year. He's 30 years old. He's had a ton of injuries. He's a big guy. I'm like, I could see him turning it around, but like he started slow, and I was like, I'm a little worried. I'm like, oh, is this what he's gonna be from now on? He'll have a good game, then he'll score 12, then he'll be out. Like, are we kind of seeing the downturn in his career? Which at that point, they're kind of doomed if that's true.
Oh,
they're going nowhere.
No, they're done.
So I think I liked them at the beginning of the year. I have to admit, I thought like Paul George would fit well. But I think they could sneak into the play. I think they could, maybe their ceiling could be like an 8 seed or something, but they're not going anywhere. They're out soon in the playoffs. So yeah, really disappointing.
Not to linger on this, but I wanted to bring up the point to be the numbers guy and to support what you're saying. So Joel Embiid last season played 39 games, and he averaged 33 minutes a game with 35 points per game. Nuts. Insane.
Yeah.
This year, he's playing 3 less minutes, and he's played in 3 games, so small sample size, but he's averaging 14%, and his shooting splits are quite literally the half of what he was on the other. So he's averaging 5 threes a game and shooting them at 15%. And Seth, what do we say when a guy's threes start really being bad, or a late game when their threes aren't falling in? They're tired. Yep, they're fatigued. Yep. So what that tells me is, I agree. I hadn't thought about it in the injury sense. I agree. I think maybe his knees are just like, we're done.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, it's like he had all this time off. I thought he was kind of just taking it easy at the beginning of the year, resting, like full recovery, and it's like, oh, you're still off. Like it's just some chronic injury at this point. It's a little worrying, but yeah. So I guess we're all in agreement. Their season's not going anywhere.
No.
I'm looking at their schedule up until the 20th. Realistically, they should win probably at least 4 or 5 of these games. I don't see it happening though, because they go against the Grizzlies, the Nets, the Clippers. I'm probably not expecting them to win. No. The Rockets, that one could go either way. The Rockets are definitely sleepers. The Pistons, the Hornets, the Magic twice, the Bulls, and the Hornets again.
Oof.
So they should win probably a good amount of those. Will they though? I highly doubt it. The way they've been playing this year it's not looking too good for them, especially with the Magic being shorthanded. They should probably take those games easily.
Yeah. Well, who did the Magic beat last night? They beat some. That was surprising yesterday. They beat some.
Yeah, Franz Wagner's been really good.
They beat the Suns.
They beat the Suns. Yeah.
Beat the Suns. Yeah, no. When Banchero comes out, I'm impressed with the Magic. Like, they've won 6 in a row, and Banchero's been out for I think all of that, right?
Yeah.
So like, great coaching, great roster building. That's impressive. That's really, it's the East, but still, like, they went out west, beat the Suns. Like, they've got, like, I think when they're all healthy, that's gonna be a dangerous team.
I'm just gonna say, if the Magic were in the West, they would be third seeded right now. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
They would. You're right. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like the top 3 Eastern teams could probably survive a little bit in the West. Everybody else
No.
stay over there.
Yeah.
Imagine the 76ers versus the OKC right now. Woo! All right. Well, now we've pissed off an entire city. Who's next?
Yeah, they're Philadelphia people. They're
I was yeah, they threw snowballs at Santa that one time. The Philadelphia Eagles. I was gonna say we could go out west, be a little more positive. We got the Warriors sitting at number 2, which is shocking to me. Maybe all of us.
Yep.
most definitely.
What do we? Is that real? Is that real? Number 2. Like, could you see? Let's fast forward. It's April. Are the Warriors sitting at number 2 in the West? What do we think?
I don't know about number 2. Definitely up there though.
Carl, you want to go first this time so I can just steal your answers?
Just change them a little bit so they don't know.
Okay.
The only reason I'm going to say they're not going to stay top 3 is because of all the trade rumors going around. Like, they're going to make some moves. Other teams are going to make moves to beat them. I don't foresee them continuing like this. Would I like them to? 100%. But I don't necessarily think with the state of where the West could be in a few weeks even, I don't think they're going to stay up there, especially with like the Timberwolves, even though they're 8-6, so they're doing pretty decent. I think once they figure everything out, the Warriors are probably losing to them. They can't beat the Clippers for whatever reason. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily think they'll be top 3. I would love to see them stay number 2, but it's probably not likely.
All right. What were we talking about? I'm so sorry.
We were talking about the Warriors,
Okay.
and I think you were about to. I think you had like barely started your take.
Hot take. As someone who watched way too much Warriors basketball last year, I think Clay was a big problem, and no one wanted to admit it. He took a lot of ill-advised shots. He was like, his defense was good, but he missed a lot, and he was so streaky that there were a couple games where I feel like he totally lost them, those games. And I think with Wiggins dealing with his dad passing away, which condolences, and I can't imagine what he's going through. I kind of think that Wiggins kind of taking a slight step up, and Buddy Hield swapping out with Clay just kind of made it click a little bit.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't think anybody would disagree with Clay was the problem, but I know what you're saying.
I'm not trying to put it all on him. I do think that, Kuminga's obviously gotten better. Like, there's some of the, like, DiVincenzo is, or not, sorry,
That's
not DiVincenzo. Podziemski has gotten better and had probably the assist of the year earlier. If you haven't seen that, look that up because it is crazy.
Yeah.
And they're the best offense besides the Cavs in the league. So that's huge.
I think you guys are right. I'd be surprised if they end at number 2. I'll be honest. I agree with Carl that I think like other teams have a higher ceiling right now.
That's fair.
Like if it's April and entering playoffs, I'd be surprised if they'd be a favorite over a team like the Timberwolves, like you mentioned, or like, especially OKC, Denver. Like I still think they're not as good as those teams. But I think they have a chance where if they want to really go for it this year, they're good enough where maybe just one pretty good trade might put them over the top. I don't know. It's interesting.
Like
maybe
last
something
year's
else
Dallas.
inside. Yeah. What's up?
Like last year's Dallas. Like they needed something.
Yeah.
They have those role players. They took the trade and it was like, you were like, who are these Mavericks?
Right? Yeah.
After the All-Star break, it was crazy.
I could see something there.
That's a good take.
But yeah. Did you want to segue into Mavericks at number 11? And what do we think of that? That's the defending Western Conference champions, 11th place.
Yeah.
What do we think? They won 2 in a row, but they were not looking too great. It looks like they might win today too, but
I'm gonna start off by saying they're 14th in defensive rating, by the way. So I think that might have something to do with
Mm.
how rough their season's going. That's also tied with Denver, by the way. Just as a fun fact, Denver's defense isn't fantastic.
Nope. Bad. Yeah, no, I think that Dallas is gonna be better.
Okay.
I think this is one of those where it's like, oh, it's not gonna last like this. They're shooting as a team 32% from three.
Mm.
No, they're not gonna.
Weird when you add Clay and that happens though.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah. There you go. And honestly, Luka doesn't look like himself. Really, he's just amazing this year, but he's not Luka Magic. Like the dude, he shoots it off the jumbotron and it makes it in. Like that's Luka. This year, I think maybe he's making too many YouTube videos. I don't know what he's doing, but he's just maybe he's just tired, dude. Maybe he's just tired. He might just be tired, and maybe those injuries that he played through last year kind of bothering him a little bit. I could see that. But I do think that the Mavericks will get better. Their plus minus is 6th in the league, so they're not getting blown out all the time. They've scored more than they've done better than they look. Let's say that. So, hot take.
Seth, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think I don't think they're gonna come out of the West this year. But I do think they'll finish better. I think 11th's a little bit of a mirage at the beginning here.
That's a good word.
But it does make it look like last year was a little bit. If we're gonna take if it's real or contender, it looks like last year is a little bit of a fluke making it that far. Like I think this might be more realistic than being the best team in the West. It's kind of just like, yeah, they're in the middle. They're a solid team. They're always dangerous because they have Kyrie and Luka, but I think there's quite a few better teams in the West. And so, but they'll improve a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their center's been out, right? He just came back.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of has something to do with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think the Mavericks are gonna honestly ever, not ever. That's a strong word. I don't think within the next few years, unless they kind of completely rebuild, are going to get back to the conference finals.
Wow.
Conference finals or finals?
Conference finals.
Okay.
At the very least.
Okay.
I think last year was their year. I know they were young, and Kyrie had like the most experience. But with how they're starting off this year, I don't think. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd like to point that out for all the Dallas fans. But I don't think that they're gonna do it in the next couple of years, unless something crazy happens with like. I think they should get rid of Clay, trade him for someone better.
Someone better.
Just because they got more spacing with Clay, but not better spacing necessarily. They need someone that they can count on besides Luka and Kyrie to knock down shots. And Clay's not doing it. And frankly, they need a better defensive three. Like Clay's doing all right defensively, but he's not a 3-and-D player. Never has been. So I don't know. The Mavericks are kind of in that middle ground to where like anything could really happen, but I don't think anything will happen necessarily.
Sure. Cool. Yeah, that's a good take. Do you guys think that the Mavericks deserve to be in the finals? I'm sensing a little like did the Timberwolves just choke?
I would say the Mavs deserved it. Like I think they played better and they deserved it, but I feel like the Wolves were better. Like they didn't play as well in that series, but like I would pick the Wolves if there's a rematch this year. I'm picking the Wolves.
Yeah.
Like I think the Wolves are a stronger team. But yeah, I think they deserved it, but it was like it all came together in that series. Like the Wolves maybe just weren't experienced enough. Something was off about them.
Yeah, they looked
Um,
flat.
yeah, they looked flat. And it just I don't know. And like Denver, they beat Denver, who like Murray. I don't know, like were they at full strength? I don't know. So I think
Yeah.
the Mavs like they deserved it, but I think it was like Carl's saying. I think it was like that was their year.
Yeah. It was like the Suns run almost in 21. Like if they were gonna do it, it had to have been then, and it just didn't work out.
Sad. All right, Carlo, you pick the next one. Who do you want? Next team to popcorn to. We just did a positive one, so we should do another negative one, right?
We should do another negative one. Let me pull it up again real quick, because there was definitely one. Was it the West? The Pelicans.
Oh, good one.
Okay. They had so much potential this year. I think we even like hyped them up a little bit in our rankings
We
video.
did.
Like
Eighth
they
seed,
had,
I think we had them, right?
and then Zion went out indefinitely. But even before that, they weren't doing much anyway.
Alvarado's
So,
out
like-
too. Can't forget that.
Oh,
guy.
Jose Alvarado's out too. Yeah, so they're 14th right now.
4-10, baby.
4-10. And that still only puts them at like 13th in the East. So either way, they're just bad. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yep.
Because now you got to rely on Brandon Ingram, who's been playing great, and an old CJ.
He's been out too,
really
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a strong enough team, both injury wise and like crunch time wise. Like, that team's not going to go anywhere.
No. I'll start on this one because I've actually watched quite a few Pelicans games recently because they've played the Nuggets twice and the Warriors twice. Whenever I watch the Pelicans, Seth and I have talked about this. There's something like mentally weak about them. Like when they get down, they're not like, let's get back in this, let's shoot a bunch of threes. They're just kind of like, okay. Like they went down like 15 to the Warriors and it felt like they gave up then. I was kind of confused. And they're bottom 3 in field goal percentage of the season, and they're high in turnovers. They're like, what were they? Yeah, they're top 5 in turnovers. So it's kind of like they just give up. And I know they have a lot of talent, but yeah, it's interesting to watch them. And sorry,
Not sponsored by them.
no, not sponsored by Bubbly yet.
Unless they want to.
It's interesting to watch a team that you've watched for years, and yeah, they kind of give up. So even if they do sneak by, Zion comes back. They get Murphy is killing it with the 3-pointers, and they get to the end of the season. I just feel like in a 7-game series, if they're down in 4 of those games, they're just gonna quit. And no.
Yeah. I don't see much for them. I mean, I think they could. I wouldn't be shocked if they sneak in the play-in, but at this point, like Zion being injured is almost more expected than him playing. It sucks because he's such an exciting player, and I wish he was consistent. And it's just like he's just not there. And I wonder if that plays into the team's mental makeup a little bit. It's like our stars never gonna play more than half the games. Like we're always kind of gonna be fighting to make it without him. And I think there's a lot of trade rumors with Ingram, and so like how much is he invested in I mean he's playing well, I'll give him credit, but it's like when you have trade rumors constantly like contract problems, like there's just a lot of distractions there. Zion's distracting, like all the media attention about him, and I think I saw this headline a few other places. I do think it's finally time to say the Lakers won the AD trade. Like the Falcons did not. They didn't do it. They had all this draft picks and young players, and nothing
No,
happened.
yeah.
They didn't do anything with it. So that's sad.
Hey,
Say
good
hi
for
to
you,
YouTube
though.
Shorts,
No?
Seth.
Yeah.
On that one.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Lakers,
Oh, is that the next one?
Mm.
I mean, they're doing pretty well. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know they had that 2 or 3 game losing streak or whatever, and everybody started counting them out, but
Mm-hmm.
they won 5 in a row now. So, Seth, as the Lakers fan of the group,
Do
how
it.
do you feel about that?
I'm impressed with JJ. They don't have much depth and they still win. They've been beaten up on some kind of bad teams lately, but that was the kind of teams they used to lose to. So I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter. Like the fact they show up every game and play hard it sounds like nothing, but when you have a lot of talent, that does matter a lot because that sometimes is the one thing that, you know. I think the big difference is connect. If we're looking at like the player standpoint, like having a real shooter, they just haven't not had that in so long. I can't. It's like
He's good.
I don't even remember the last time they had a knockdown shooter that could actually like play big minutes. Like KCP was there and he was inconsistent. He was the lot. Danny Green. Like this is all from 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
2020 championship.
Yeah, I won a championship, and I think connect. Like I'm really impressed. I still think they're one trade away from being a real contender, but that's not bad.
How do you
Yeah,
spell
I'm
his
impressed.
name?
Yeah.
ANECHT.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if they'll end up number 3 in the West. I think that might be a little high, but I wouldn't be surprised top 5, which is much better than I would have expected at the beginning of the year. So, good on them. Well done, JJ.
No, he looks
Really
good,
well
man.
done,
He
yeah.
looks like an actual coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be fair, last few coaches for the Lakers have been fantastic.
No.
But 9-4 start, that's not something to overlook,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you had Darvin Ham last year. So
Yeah. The team plays hard. They're together, and there was talk of like, oh, is JJ gonna lose the team because it's LeBron's buddy, and that didn't happen at all. So
Nope.
I'll give a lot of credit there. Like he had to navigate a lot of crazy media rumors and speculation and criticism, and they're playing hard. AD's playing the best of his career, which is interesting because I would have thought he was on his way down a little bit, and that's the other big thing. I'm surprised that he's having a career year at 31 with all his injuries he's had. Not bad.
Not bad at
kind
all.
of seems like JJ like revived him a little bit.
Yeah. He's got his outside shot going again. Like that's the big thing.
Yeah, I watched a lot of the 3 Man of the 3. I keep saying I watch a lot of that. I got stuff. And one of the things JJ would say was he would always criticize the Lakers and say they need to run the ball through or run the team through Davis instead of LeBron.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think he's right. I think
Yep.
he was right. So it's cool to see. Yeah, Dalton Connect. I couldn't find his name because I don't know. It's hard to spell, I guess. But yeah, he's shooting 40% from 3 and 49 from 2-point range.
Yeah. Great for a rookie.
That's pretty good for a rookie.
Yeah.
Didn't he go 5 for 5 on 3 on one of the games? Something stupid like
He
that.
might have. And I mean, he started kind of slow, so like these averages, when he's actually been playing big minutes, he's been really good.
Oh yeah, against the Pelicans, he went 5 of 10 with 27 points. Damn.
Yeah, like that's right.
Wow.
That's big time.
2 steals, a block, 7 rebounds. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Rookie of the year, maybe? No, just kidding.
I don't know. Zachary's been kind of killing it recently. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not out of
McCain.
yeah, McCain has probably been the best rookie. But with Maxey coming back, I don't know how much they're gonna give us enough minutes. But yeah, no, I'm impressed with the Lakers. They've been playing kind of lower tier teams though, so we'll see how they do against better teams. But either way, I like how they play hard. Sounds simple, but if you're a Laker fan, you know that that was not always the case the last couple of years at all.
Not always the case, huh?
No.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to keep going on this tangent? We're at 33 minutes. We can keep going. We can do another topic, another video. What do you guys? How are you guys feeling right now?
I've
we
got
need a
the
break,
top five
water break?
steals leaders right now.
You got
You want
what?
to talk about that? Top 5 steals leaders.
Do it.
I think that topic, like we're probably good. Like I think that's enough for that specific topic. But
Yeah.
if we
Yeah,
want,
just
we
kind of
can probably
sprinkled
do-
them in there because I don't know
Yeah.
if we can do all 30. That would take us a long time.
No. I thought just like mentioned that'd be insane. Yeah, no.
To be fair, like
I think just like
at
I
least-
think we mentioned the ones people are interested in, like those kind of
Yeah.
crazy outlier ones, and that was
Mhm.
fine.
I will say though, the Kings are actually doing pretty decent.
Fox?
Yeah, De'Aaron
Nice.
Fox, like what?
Fox
What
going
the hell?
crazy for no reason.
60
Yeah,
on
I
an
was-
L is crazy. 60
Yeah.
on an
Yeah,
L is
I know.
so sad.
That contract year stuff happens.
Yeah. I'm telling you,
good.
man, that for me, when he drops 60 and they lose, says more than it should. Like,
I
if
know.
you
I
drop
was like,
60 and you win by 20, I'm like, damn, they're a good team. You drop 60 and you lose, your team kind of is ass. I'm going to be honest. Like, that's
Dropped 70 and lost. I'm just saying.
that's true.
Well,
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate your support on this new YouTube channel. We're learning, so any comments and anything on below is helpful. And we will see you guys in the next one.